Hey, welcome to Kate's Crafts. I'm Kate. Today I would like to share with you some happy mail I recently received. This is from another Canadian store that I like shopping at. It's called Scrap and Stamp. They are located in British Columbia and they have been one of my go-to stores. This particular haul is from a 30 on 30 sale Scrap and Stamp had. The sale offers 30% off a given brand, and I try to score what I can when they offer this sale, especially when it's on Lawn Fawn products. Let's have a look, shall we? So what do we have here? We have a $10 coupon off a $100 or more order. Cool, I'll set that aside for later. And looks like they've included a magazine. I believe I've already gotten this one, but it'll be neat for cutting out for collages and stuff if I decide to keep it, or I might read it again and just pass it along to somebody else who might like it. So first things first, we have the Puffy Clouds backdrop in landscape. I'm quite excited about this one as I have not had any kind of clouds. And I've seen people use this where they've cut pieces off and use them like stencils, and you can tuck little critters in behind them. I'll be sure to sample all these out on paper later once we get through this haul. Next up we have dun, da, da, da. This one is the if I'm checking my notes here. This one is the Foursquare portrait backdrop. Kind of almost looks like a Polaroid, but I was kind of neat to see that this one was still in stock at Scrap and Stamp, and it was on sale, so can't go wrong. So it looks like that cuts out stitched squares and stitching around the edges, and I was excited about this. I've seen so many people do so many cool things with this. This is the Sunburst backdrop, and it looks really, really cool. You'll see later when I try this one out. Next up we have thank you stamp set. This is the thank you tag stamp set. It's sold out and it is retired on the Lawn Fawn website, but these thank you tag stamps coordinate with the Tag Your It die set, and that die set also works with the winter gifts and the birthday tags, so that'll be neat. This one, I had actually gotten a free stamp from another company, and I didn't have the die for it, so I thought I'd grab the die since it was on sale. And last but not least, Violet's ABCs. I absolutely love that and in this set. And I kind of like the letters to it too. It's almost got like a vintage vibe to it. Anyway, next up I will cut these out and stamp these out and give you a preview. So starting off here, I am going to cut out the Puffy Clouds backdrop die. I've got some white cardstock here that I believe is 65 pounds. It's got a bit of iridescent shimmer to it, or gold shimmer, or whichever. And I just wanted to cut that out to show you on some white paper. Now I think it's neat because I could cut those apart and use those kind of like stencils if I need to. And just to kind of give you an idea of what they look like with critters, I had a couple that were already cut out and colored in my little stash, but how cute is that? Next up we have the Sunburst backdrop, and I'm going to use some silver foil type cardstock here. I think it's 65 pounds. It's got like the craft back paper to it. Anyway, look at how pretty that looks. It's pretty neat. It cuts out the stitching but leaves those embossed lines. I've seen people do so many cool things with those. Another neat bonus is that it works with the magic message circles too, so if you want to use the magic messages and cut out the circles kind of thing, and well, that center circle cuts out the same size. Pretty cool. Next up we have the, what do you call it? the portrait, Foursquare portrait, sorry. And I'm going to cut that out of regular black cardstock, 65 pound. Give you an idea of that. I thought this one was kind of neat with all the stitching that it does. I wasn't sure what to expect, as I haven't seen too many people use this. Perhaps if I went back in Lawn Fawn's catalog of videos, I could probably find a few interesting ones. I'm not sure how old this one is, but I believe it's still available. Look at how cute those are. Could you imagine just doing a little ink blending on those and adding them to a background? Anyway, I'll make sure to link all of these in the description box below, so you guys can order them if you want, and I'll leave alternative links too to the ones that aren't available at Scrap and Stamp. So, ooh, look at how those fit in. Those are really cute. Anyway, next up I'm going to go to the stamps. So here we have the thank you tag stamp, and I'm going to tape that to the window with them still attached to the acetate that they come, and that way it's a little bit easier. So once I've taped that all onto my window, I'm going to ink that up and stamp that out a couple of times. Now the one thing I noticed with this is that you kind of got to be careful that you don't get ink all over that center of it, and where you press down on your window, that ink will deposit onto your paper if you're not careful. And this is where I realized that this is probably not a good idea to put a lot of force on it. It's like, oh crap. So I try to stamp it out anyway, because I can use some of those things. I'll set this piece of paper aside and restamp it just to kind of get a better idea of what it looks like without the big black blob in the middle of it. So I'll line that back up, get that ready to stamp. This time I'm going to take a little more care when I do this, so that way it doesn't look so messy. So instead of like mashing everything down, what I'm going to do is just kind of trace my finger along those lines. I've seen other people do this with words, where they just kind of tap it down so you don't get a big blobby mess, and it seems to work just fine for these tags. This could probably also be applied to those window scene stamps too. So I'll link it up another time just to get a crisper line to give you guys an idea of what this looks like in solid black. This is such a neat stamp. You don't even really need the dies to cut these out. Next up we have Violet's ABCs. I don't know what it is about this set. I saw it and I was like, oh, these are really neat. So I thought, why not? I don't know what kind of font it is, but I really, really like that and. I don't know what it is. It's like you could make wedding cards, Mr. and Mrs., and use that little and, or even the and symbol in it is cute, but the actual word and, I'm quite smitten with it. I know. It's silly. It's just a stamp, but I really like it. So there you have it. I will show you these, and this is what these stamps look like. I really like that and. So if you've enjoyed today's content or found it helpful, please give this video a like. I also invite you to subscribe, as I post videos weekly. Here's another video I think you might enjoy. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Take care.